Alright, so this week we're going to finish up all the outside stuff. The windows need to be all waterproofed in. It looks like we've got a lot of caulking on here, but we don't. There's holes, so we've got to tidy up all those leaks, the areas that we have on the outside, because winter's coming. And we're going to tie up all the loose ends that we have to do with our 12 volt. There were some problems that we found last time we went on a camping trip, so we'll fix those. And hopefully we can get started on our 120 volt. So starting off with the windows, we've got some leaks around the seam of the windows. So we want to caulk that over, but we don't want to just glob it on there. So I went and got this piece of PVC trim. It's 1.5 by 5/8. And I just cut a channel in the back on the table saw so that I can fit it right up close to the window. And therefore it clears the top of these bolt heads and sits flush around the rim. And I just felt a raindrop, so we're probably not going to be able to glue that on today, but we can get all the bevels cut. I actually did this window already. We got it taped together. I just cut the ends at 45 so that they fit together around the window and we can glue them in place. And tape will hold in place while the glue dries. I really like these tables. These are the same tables that we used to prop up the truck when we took the box off. They're a little spendy, but they're rated to support like 1,200 pounds. So I've got a few of them, and they definitely come in handy. Alright, so just a little bit of glue between the joints, a nail gun, and quick tack. Just a quick tack of those together with some little bit of glue between the joints, and now I've got a stable platform for my PVC pipe to lay on. This I don't need. So now when I'm cutting these, the 45s, alright, so when I'm cutting the 45s on this, I'm just going to set my machine to 45 degrees, and the long side needs to be where the big stop is, right here. So I'll come down like this and just cut that at 45. Then I just set my machine the opposite direction, and I want to measure the short side on the window. You can do math and measure the long side and cut on the long side, but I don't want to risk me messing up my math and mess up my pieces that I've prepared. So I'm just going to measure the short side on the window, and then I'll cut it on the short side with it beveled to the other direction. Give me a long side on that side. 7/8. 30 and 7/8. that.
We picked up some DAP Dynaflex Ultra, and this stuff is mold, mildew, and algae resistant. Vinyl, aluminum, metal, fiber cement, wood, cedar, concrete, masonry, brick, stone, stucco, PVC, composite, fiberglass, and glass.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that. No.
Alright, so we ran out of time to do the 120 volt this week, but we did put up some 10 gauge wire instead of some of the 16 gauge for the more voltage needing things like the heater, because by the time the 12 volt got from over there to over here, it wasn't 12 volt anymore, it was a bit lower. The voltage leaks out of wire. The longer it goes, the thicker the wire, the less voltage leaks, but that's also why you can't run data cable with power cable, because of the voltage leak off from the other cables, the power cables. It interferes with the delicate data transfer of the cat cables. So we did run these 10 gauge wires for the things that needed more power, things that consumed more power. So pretty much everything that moves or makes heat or cools down, we're putting 10 gauge instead of 16. And we trimmed out the windows so that they wouldn't look crusty and they'll stop leaking, because they were leaking a little bit around the edges. And we're just getting little things done that need to be done before we spray foam. The spray foam is coming fairly soon, we're hoping. And next week we're going to do the 120 volt, and that should be the last thing that we have to do before we actually spray foam the thing. If you like where we're going with these videos, please like and subscribe, and consider clicking the links in the description below. It helps us a lot.